gives another illustration of a fire.
Yeah.
In verse 5b, the second part of 5b, he says, behold how great a matter a little, small fire, a spark kindles. He says in this illustration, a small spark can cause a major forest fire. Now, growing up in Terrell, we lived with my grandmother for a moment, and then as a smaller child, when visiting with her, we used to have a field next to the house. This was the old house. This wasn't what we consider new to us. This was before the old house burned, but we had a field at the old house, and somehow somebody, I don't know who it was, I don't know if it was me, my cousin, my brother, but one of them, I don't know, still, I don't even know if you were around, you wasn't there. But somehow somebody lit a match. It started, and before we knew it, the whole field had caught a fire. Not from us pouring gas on it, not from us getting a large fire, a bonfire, but it was a small match. And that's what James is saying to us. He says, and the tongue is a fire. A world of iniquity, a world of sin. So is the tongue among our members that it makes dirty or defiles the whole body and sets on fire the course of nature. It's set on fire of hell. He gives us an illustration that a fire, a little fire, can cause much damage. And so it is with our tongues and what we say. Can start out what we think is small, but can cause much more damage than we really feel like it's going to do. He teaches us, and one writer brings out how a fire like this is wide-ranging. A fire like this is uncontrollable because sometimes you can say one thing and you keep on saying the same thing and adding to that, it just gets out of control. So you stop saying one word, you go to 2 words. You leave 2 words, leave 3 words, and then go from 3 words and a cuss word in there again. And now you know. That's what the text says. It kindles a whole fire. Then look at what he says. He gives another illustration of the text. He says, for every kind of beast, birds, serpents, things in the sea, are tamed and have been tamed by mankind. Notice the text. Been tamed by mankind. When you refer to Genesis and you notice how God made man, and then when he made man, he gave man dominion over the animals. It's real strange that the 4-legged lion can be tamed. That's right. A 4-legged tiger can be tamed. A 2-ton elephant can be tamed. Can I get a witness in here? A grizzly bear can be tamed. It seems like everything can be tamed and put under subjection but ours. He says, one writer translation says in the Message Bible that it's scary. It's scary that the tongue can't be tamed. Can I get a witness in here? It's real scary because many of us feel like it's no harm done. But the tongue, not only as we see illustrations and applications here, we see the destruction of the tongue. It's here in the text when it says in verse number 8, the last part of verse number 8, it says, it is an unruly evil. He says, full of deadly poison. Unruly evil. Unruly means restless, undisciplined, irreconcilable. Evil. You can't reason with this kind of tongue. The tongue that James is talking about is a tongue that has no order. It just ain't got no discipline. It has no bounds. It will say anything. You know what I'm talking about. It will say anything to any child. without any thought of person's feelings. He says, watch this, he says, it's a deadly poison. The text says it's full of deadly poison. The tongue is full of deadly poison. What it literally means that it's a wanton killer. It has no limitations. Can I get a witness in here? The tongue can be destructive. You know, there are a lot of people in the church nowadays who come in, we all dressed up. We have smiles on our faces. But because somebody has said something to us, down deep on the inside, we are crumbling. Because people didn't know how to talk to us, even as children. It's sad to say that so many kids nowadays are being mentally and physically, not only physically abused, but verbally abused. That leads to emotional abuse, and if it's not dealt with appropriately according to the scriptures, then that abuse will be passed on to another generation, and that person would feel like it's normal behavior to be cursed out and to cuss somebody out. Can I get a witness in here? But I think I ought to tell you, it's not normal behavior. It's not the will of God that we would belittle somebody with our words. It's not the will of God that we would tear down stuff with our words. We gotta watch. Somebody's praying with me. The tongue can be destructive. James is trying to give us illustrations. He's given us applications. James has given to us the tongue and its destruction. But as I looked at the text, as I pondered in the passage, and I thought about all the negative things about the tongue, and how the tongue can destroy families. How the tongue can destroy marriages. How the tongue can destroy relationships. I said, Lord, is there any good news about this tongue? Well, I found out that the tongue does not have to be only a weapon of mass destruction, but it can be an instrument of mass construction. Do I have a witness? When I look at the Word of God, I hear James say in chapter 1, verse 19, he said, my beloved brothers, let every man be swift to hear and slow to speak. Well, and slow to wrath. Lord wants me to share with you that the tongue does not just have to be destructive, but the tongue can also be constructive. By that I mean that we can allow what we say to build people up and not just tear people down. When was the last time you said something to build someone up? When was the last time you said something to build a person up and not tear them down? Do I have a witness? I thought I'd just tell you a few things that you can say just to build somebody up.